All right, now you have the actual clutch itself. This is a 10-inch clutch. Like, I don't know if I said that before, but they sell them with these handy little tools. Okay, so this tool is going to go in the clutch, and it's going to go in that pilot bearing that we just put in there. So you're going to put it on the clutch here, and then you're going to shove it into the pilot bearing. Easy peasy. All right, so there you go. Now we're going to leave this all connected up. And by the way, it does say, if you look at the marking on here, it does say flywheel side goes to this side. So we've got it installed right. And you could actually install this backwards because it's a little thicker here coming out from here than it is here. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it, it's marked on there, flywheel side. So easy peasy, just put it back on there. All right, now we're gonna put the clutch assembly on top. Hey, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and we're back on the clutch project. We had a little bit of a problem. We had the wrong clutch. So make sure you're ordering the right clutch. I believe this is a 10-inch clutch, and we had an 11-inch clutch, so it obviously wouldn't work. So today we're going to install the clutch. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're cleaned off. So take some brake cleaner and you're going to clean off this area right here. Just a few should be good there. This is a brand new clutch. If you were using an older clutch, you might want to really clean it up and brush that in. And then when we're installing the clutch, there's two sides to this, and one's going to say flywheel side right there, okay? And we're going to use the plastic clutch tool to install this, and this is the same spline as your clutch. So we're going to install that and then put it into your pilot bearing that we installed last week and you'll be all set. So then you got your clutch to put on, and here we've got this sitting down here. So once again, you're gonna want to clean this off. So it looks like there's some manufacturing oil on this, so you're gonna clean it off. Now this time I'm actually gonna take a rag and go around and clean it a little bit, because it does look like it had some type of I don't know, let's call it preservative oil. So we'll give this a couple cleans here, and I can see that a little bit of dirt is coming off on the rag here, or oil, or what have you. So looks pretty good. We don't want to have any oil on there because we'll get chatter on this. So the next thing you're going to do is actually put the clutch on there and clean it up a little more. All right, looks pretty good. And I'm going to put this clutch on now. We're going to have to tighten this down a little bit at a time. Now this clutch will fit a little bit better. All right, so we're putting this in. I need 4 hands for this. So let me get a couple started here. Got another bolt right here. All right, so one thing I was actually curious about as I get this started on here is I had to do a little research on this. It's okay, you don't need grade 8, grade 5 bolts are okay to use on this. And the other question I had was whether to use a lock washer or not, and that wasn't really spelled out in the manufacturing instructions, so I did a little more research and found out instead of using Loctite there, we're using a lock washer. So I've got these bolts all set up, and I'm putting them on here, and we're going to tighten them up. Now, one thing that, you're going to be compressing this clutch. So you're going to want to compress it equally as we get our bolts in here. So you're going to snug this up at first, and I'm going to do a crisscross pattern on that, just like we did with the actual flywheel. So we're going to snug all these up. All right, I'm started. I'm sure I'll fast forward this. And you don't want to use any type of bzz, bzz, you know, on this. You want to try to do this by hand, because you don't want to screw up the threads on this, or you'll be in bad shape. Of course, it helped if you got the actual threads started. There we go. I hope everybody's doing well today. It's Friday. There is snow on the ground. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. We got some parties to go to coming up here. Celebrated Jeff Thompson's birthday this week. I hope I didn't make Jeff mad. I posted a picture that I did with AI generation, and kind of is kind of funny, in my opinion. And I asked my son, should I post this? And it kind of showed Jeff Thompson with his little dog Liberty, and it was, like you say, it was AI generated. And I've been having fun with this AI generation photos lately. Anyway, I'm blabbing on. All right, make sure before you get totally tight, make sure that this is going in and out, and it's nicely centered. So that's nice and loose there. Set up for 35 foot-pounds, and we're going to start torquing away here. Now we'll go straight to 35 foot-pounds. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, there's 35. Go across here. Okay, 35. You might notice that the flywheel's turning a little bit, but that's okay. I didn't want to put a wrench on there. I could put my lock wrench back on there, but I think we'll get around. There we go. 35. We're all set with the clutch install. Now we'll put the bell housing back on here. Well, I had planned on showing you how to get the bell housing on today, but this is just typical stuff that happens when you're restoring these Chevelles. And I came across a broken part. I was going to grease up the clutch fork and the bearing, and this is what I find. So if you'll notice, in the lower half, there's a piece broken off. So this is the clutch fork, and I was going to put grease on all the tabs and stuff and get it ready for the throwout bearing and go into the bell housing. But now we got an issue. I had to order a new one of these because I'm afraid that's spring metal. You're just not going to repair that. So what I do with the rest of my time out in the garage today while I'm waiting for parts, well, I got back on my fill-in project, which is stripping this 67 Chevelle out so we can get it ready for paint. So I got the hood taken care of, got the emblem off of that. I got the glass out because you know, you can't get to you got to get the glass out so you can paint down here, and you got to get the window felts out, and just all the monotonous stuff you got to do to get these cars ready for paint. So, oh, I left a logo on there. I got to get that logo off. So maybe next week. All right, back here on Saturday, we got the part that I needed. Got Pat keeping me company out here today, so that's a good thing. This is the fork that I had that was broke, so I got a new one. This is nice because it's all plated. I won't have to worry about it rusting or anything like that. And what you want to do is put a little grease on the tips here, and put a little grease back here. You don't want to put a lot of grease on this because everything's going to be circulating around, and you don't want the grease to come out on your actual clutch disc there, your flywheel or the clutch itself, because then obviously you'll get some slippage there. So I just took a little brush and I brushed a little high temperature grease on there. Next thing we're going to do is we got the bell housing here. We're going to snap the fork in place for the bell housing, so it's basically coming through here like this. It's going to fit on this ball, so might take me a second to struggle with that. All right, I had to take that over on the bench and basically push it in there, and I've got the bearing installed here, so this can go back and forth. And make sure you get your tabs on the inside of the bearing. You don't want one on the outside and you don't want one on the inside. You want them both on the inside. So there you go. Got that all set up, and then it's just a matter of bolting this on. So as far as the bolts go, you want to have bolts with the shoulder on it like this, okay? And you know, it should fit on there pretty nice and easy. Oh, shouldn't need this anymore, so don't forget to take that out. And we're just going to put that on, and there's a couple nice tabs on both sides so that you know push it on there okay. All right, we'll get the bolts on and then I'll show you a couple more things. All right, so here's the clutch we ended up using. It's called Perfection Performance Proven. I think it's made by Zoom. It's MU1675-1. There's Pat coming into the garage. What were you just saying a second ago, Pat?
That you make everything look so easy when you're putting stuff together.
Yeah, that's because I cut away when I'm swearing and having a hard time.
You gotta edit all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
we gotta edit all that stuff out.
I've heard it when I walked in here before. Though.
So we got this back on here, and we'll be in good shape. I'm gonna put the transmission back on there, and get some springs attached up and whatnot on the clutch. The next step we're going to do is we're going to actually turn this motor over, and I've already got my starter box set up here. So this is for Chevelle only. Bob Epley made me this box, so this should work out good. We've got it set up so I can do either HEI or points. And I'm going to take the, right now I've got the oiler in there so I can just build pressure for the oil. I'm waiting on a fuel line. That should come pretty soon. Not sure what I'm going to do about the radiator yet. And then I've got an HEI distributor to put in there that we will do the break-in of the engine with that, just because it's a little more reliable than points and whatnot. But yeah, we're getting ready to at least turn this motor over and see what's going on. So there you go, Mark Meldrum and Pat, Meldrum Sponsor Garage. See ya.